how did y'all list that Malibu mansion now?
Yes, let's talk about it.
You got to talk about that.
Studio City. Yes. It's called the Creators House.
Yes.
And I will say that there were leaders of this organization that I respect and honor. They had no idea that money was going to come in. They were doing liberation work on the ground.
Yes.
But they never expected to need to build a legitimate nonprofit organization, right? And there are decisions that they made that I probably wouldn't have made. I'm just going to tell the truth.
No.
They were all legal decisions as far as I know, and the books that I've, behind the hood. But they're decisions that maybe I wouldn't have made. I mean, we've talked potentially about buying a housing development as opposed to one house, right? Or a triage facility.
Yeah.
However, I will also say that I believe that owning land and property as a Black person is a revolutionary act. And unfortunately, the negative press came out before the truth around the intention of that property. It is in Studio City. When I came on board, I went there with lawyers and accountants and security to ensure that I could take a look at it and find out what this really was. Dr. Bryant, there are 21 parking spaces at that facility. There is a studio in the back. It was actually owned by a pastor of a megachurch.
Wow.
And he used to film out of that space.
Yeah.
No one lives there except for the people who have been staying there because they've experienced houselessness from the Altadena fire, for instance.
Wow.
Since we came on board, we opened up that what we call the Creators House. The intention was to be a safe space for leaders, a headquarters, right? It was a space to own and create our own content. I love the story I've heard about lions not rising up to tell their stories, and therefore hunters get the credit. And so arts as a strategic pillar is very important to us, owning the story as the media is dismantling it. So the original people who bought it, they intended for it to be a safe house for us. And unfortunately, the negative press preceded that. But since I've been on board and the new board has come together, we have opened it up and had a healing space for over 150 families. We had it opened up to an organization just a few months ago called Reach LA that used it for a conference space. We brought together for the first time HBCU students. They're called our HBCU ambassadors. And they told us what students need. And because of that, we started a student solidarity fund. This is all in the last 2 years, where we started giving direct payments to students for food and clothing and housing. That came from the sanctity and safe space of the Creators House that is protected and owned by us, and frankly has accumulated value. It has equity, right?
Yes.
And we are able to grant make off the equity of that property. And so when you think about owning, right, your own name and your own brand and your own legacy and your own work, it was absolutely a wise investment from the perspective of Black ownership. It just, in the news and the media, was reframed in such a way to make it seem like somebody just went on a shopping spree and bought a mansion in Malibu and had no interest in utilizing it for Black people. That's what we're using it for.
Wow. It's a whole lot of rap beef right now. Kendrick Lamar against Lil Drake. 50 Cent against Rick Ross.
My sons are going to love this question. I don't know where you're going, but I'm going to channel them and make sure that I answer it appropriately.
Oh, you ready for it? You got Kendrick Lamar against Drake. You got 50 Cent against Rick Ross. And now Black Lives Matter against Lil Yachty.
Come on.
So Lil Yachty, in an interview, said about a week ago that Black Lives Matter is a scam.
Yeah.
And there was no pushback.
None.
From the Black people interviewing him.
Yeah.
Tell me, one, this is for the very first time. It's a brand new season. I've never asked any of my guests to do it. I want you to look in that camera and tell Lil Yachty what you thought about it.
Oh, this is deep. First of all, I DM Lil Yachty, by the way. He hasn't gone back to me.
Okay.
So I did take a moment. I DM'd him so I could give him an opportunity to provide you with receipts.
Yes.
First of all, Black Lives Matter is not a scam. And I was so disappointed to hear you rattle off some of the misinformation and disinformation that has destroyed the integrity of this organization without any proof. I actually took my youngest son to come see you in concert at the University of Kansas, where I went to school. And so I was disappointed that you, as a leader of not only our young people, but someone whose music I enjoyed, has not done your homework and your research. I would love to have a conversation with you about how this movement of 27 million people is legit. It is here. I am leading it in such a way to ensure that we are here for the long run. There is nothing scammy about the liberation of Black people. And I wish before you spoke, you would reach out to the leaders of the organization and tell the truth, because we have work to do and we can't do it divided.
I love it. I want to make an official invitation to Lil Yachty to come on this
I would love
platform and for us to have a closed, open door conversation between he and yourself for round 2. Y'all stay tuned. Let's
I'm in your DMs. I'm in your DMs.
Check your DMs, man. We done slid up in the DMs.
That's right.
When George Floyd was killed, it sparked something, not nationwide, globally. I was speaking in London maybe 3 months after everything happened, and I was amazed how many diasporic people were walking up to me, lifting up a fist saying Black Lives Matter. Have you, I know it's been a short period of time, have you been able to put your arms around the global impact of Black Lives Matter?
I love this question. We are technically the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation.
Yes.
I mentioned at the very beginning that when this organization was started, there was no opportunity to copyright.
Yes.
And so there are grassroots organizations and chapters working under the moniker, but our charter, our board documents, policies, and procedures actually require us to work globally. One of our board members actually just came back from the UK.
Wow.
I've done quite a bit of work in Africa. Another one of our board members just came back from Canada. The Black Lives Matter Canada chapter has been phenomenal in terms of working with us and ensuring that we understand the needs of Black people across the diaspora and across the world. We recognize that we have a lot of work to do, but also what we're learning is that outside of the United States, the Black folks there are not about this nonsense.
Yes.
When I come into a room and talk to them, they are proud and grateful, and they are honest, and they are holding me accountable